going? I received a question talking about asking me first what is the connection between the different Brazilian styles, what connected them, and because the person who did the question didn't hear the syncopation between all these styles I talk about in my lives. And very interesting question, because the syncopation happens in almost all styles I talk about here. It doesn't happen on Brazilian waltz, but in the most styles in simple measures like 2/4 or 4/4 or 2/2 meter, it happens. It happens commonly, but there is something that's not so obvious. Because the syncopation doesn't happen in all styles just on the melody. Some styles has more syncopations in the comping and in the different layers of comping. And I'm gonna tell you, and some styles are connected by another rhythmic cells. I don't know if we're gonna have time to talk about all of this, but I'm gonna show you the different uses of the syncopation and also the evolution of the syncopation. Because if we talk about the choro, that is one of the first authentic movements in Brazilian music. It started as European music, and there was some mixture with the Afro cultures that that brought the syncopation to our songs here. So I'm gonna talk first about the polka style that's played on Poland. That it's a music that arrived here in Brazil, and they have this beat. Look, it's not a very it hasn't so swing as the Brazilian music, but this style started to get some transformation here, and let's see this pattern. Became this. I've omitted the first chord of this. I have omitted it. So with this omission, we are gonna get a little more swing, and this is we can interpret as 8th note with a 16th note, and these are the first and the last notes of the syncopation. Let me show you one. Let's see if I have some syncopation to show you here. I'm sorry for the time I'm getting. I want to find it. Here are two syncopations. Here, all right. So I'm telling that the first tempo this is the first note of the syncopation and the last. And it didn't take so much time to become this. This comping we call tango brasileiro. That is a style played by Ernesto Nazaré, but some music, I don't know if this is the word, historians, a person who studies the history of music, say that the tango brasileiro and machixe is the same thing. But some others say that machixe has more note that the syncopation came to my left hand also. It's interesting to see that in the melodic cells of the machixe, in the melodic layer, I'm telling so much about layers in these lives that are the rhythmic style of each different instrument, and the melody has its rhythmics. We have something that will be found in another style, because in the phrasing of machixe it's common to anticipate a 8th note. This is anticipation of 8th note that will be found in another style. It's connected with the Northeast styles, alright? I'm gonna talk a little more about the syncopation that's gonna connect more things. So this, I've told you that the syncopation started appearing on the machixe music, but after that there was an evolve to choro that uses syncopations in the comping, the harmonic part. If you see the guitar in choro, the syncopation is used on the 2 tempos, or through two beats, alright? And we're gonna find also in the choros, in the syncopation, commonly on the melody. There are some fast choros that we call chorinho, that use more 16th notes. You probably know the Tico Tico no Fubá. It's more common to find 16 notes, but the syncopation is on the melody also. You're gonna find also this kind of melody. And let's go to another style, that's samba. Samba has the syncopations. It's not, there isn't an instrument playing the syncopations ipsis literis. I don't know how to say this literally, playing the syncopation, but the melody is made of tied syncopations, and this syncopation will create some sensation of the melody floating, Because if you tie a lot of syncopations, it's almost the same thing that to play a lot of 80 notes, but they are starting delayed. This delay will give a sensation of floating. There is some melodies of samba that almost all melodies of samba float. If we play without nothing, it seems we are going ta 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 ta, but it's floating ta 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 ta. So it's not common to play this the separate syncopations in samba, but they are very common in the how can I say, in the melody. All right, so you can search for tied syncopations in the melody. They are very common. All right. What else we can talk about? Let's go to the Northeast styles. These Northeast styles, some people can say that they have a clave using the 3-3-2 style. That's ta ta chi ta 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 ta. But if you hear that sometimes the coordination between the different layers, you're gonna hear the syncopations sounding. For example, in the chachado, this is the syncopation. It's in the forró also. So you are hearing the syncopations sometimes in the combination of the different rhythmic layers that's played by the zabumba, that has one low and one high sound. It's a drum that has these two sounds, and you can hear the syncopations happening on the melody also. They happen. The melodies have this very common sound, and we can return to the past and see other thing that's very common. In this forró styles, you're gonna find the end of the phrases in anticipate the eighth notes. So this anticipation, it's very common on the language of the machixe. So we don't know when Baião started, because we have notes of the language of the Baião just in the 40s. But before this, we don't know where Baião started. But it has a interesting connection with the machixe language. So if you improvise the phrases of machixe in Baião, you're gonna sound very, very inside the language. All right. There are some other. Good evening. Welcome. Você mais lindo. Thanks for coming and watching. You are very welcome. But like I was saying, Baião and machixe have a very interesting connection of melodies. Let me show you a little. And we can play this. We can play this as a baião also. So this ends of phrase. You're gonna find this ends on the language of machixe, baião, and we can go to another part of the Northeast and find the language of frevo. In the frevo language, we can find some syncopations on the rhythmic layer of the melody, and also we can find this ends of phrase in anticipated 8th note. So if we get a frevo. So we can find this. We can find this at the language of the frevo, and what else we can think? We can also think in the language of the maracatu. Maracatu has often the melodies done of syncopations. And it emphasizes in the returning to the rhythmic layer. I'm sorry for the pronounce. Return to the rhythmic layer. You're gonna find it's the accent. There is an accent of the second 16th note. Pa pa boom. This is an we have drums also playing. So in these rhythmic layers, we can find on the melody also. So you can find this different uses of the syncopation in different parts of the style. Returning to the baião language that it's uses the syncopation, There are some other styles that you won't find literally the syncopations maybe on the melody, but I think the connection between the baião and, for example, I'm telling about forró, chachado, and baião. When you go to the rastapé and also you see the shot, you won't see the syncopations, but you're gonna find connection between the melodies using the Mixolydian scale. If you don't know these styles, on the Northeast Brazilian styles, I think they are getting more well known by the world. I see some forró groups in Australia and United States and Canada. I've seen some, and in Berlin I think there is some forró group also, and they if you see these styles that are also the Northeast music, you're gonna find the Mixolydian scale. And the Mixolydian scale, telling a little more about you, it's similar like the blues. The blues thought, you're gonna find dominant chords without the function of dominant. All right, you can have a root chord, but with the seventh, because the seventh in baião, it's not, most of the time it's not to create some resolution, but it's a kind of a style of the sound, a style of the sounds. Like the blues, for example, a blues in E major, you're gonna find the first chord E7, but it's not that E7 that wants to resolve to another chord. It's stable. It's just the seventh. It's just the flavor of the blues, and baião has the same thing. And in these styles, forró and rastapé, you're gonna find this in major tunes. You're gonna find the Mixolydian scale and the Dorian scale. And this, for example, let's see a short. These phrases are very common in baião. These arpeggio of 7 you're gonna find in forró very syncopated, but here in shot in 12/8, the meter of 12/8. And if we go to rastapé, that is the sounds of the parties that happen in July and here in Brazil, you're gonna see 2/4 shot in a fast way. So and so this has a connection between the melodic part. All right. Returning a little to the syncopation, I forgot to say one more style that is connected also with all other. That is the Ijexá. The Ijexá we can connect. They sound very different. I'm telling you the connection, because it's not obvious for most of you, but they sound very different. They have different instrumentations, and maybe if I didn't talk anything, most of the people wouldn't realize the connection between them. And the Ijexá has some connection between the machixe, like I said, and it's not a real connection, historical connection, but it's a connection between the elements. And in Ijexá, we're gonna find the syncopation in the melodies, also in the rhythmic layer of the agogô. So you're gonna find the syncopation and the anticipation of 80 notes that, like I said, happens in the forró style or the machixe. That seems to be older. So this is very interesting connection between these different kinds of music. And here in Ijexá we can find connection with the other styles, because the Ijexá has the bass line in the second tempo and in the up pitch also. So 1, 2, boom, tom, tom, pam. Often when bassist plays, they make anticipation of the bass also. And we have one other style played by the pianist João Donato that's important. That's an important composer for the Brazilian accent. That is called calango. Calango mixture the syncopations in the layer, the chord layer, the harmony layer, and these anticipations of Ijexá. This is the style that we call calango, that has this anticipation also. All right, so we can create a Brazil's map using this syncopation. I forgot to say also that in Minas Gerais and Espírito Santo, returning to the beginning of our life, talking about the sound. This, when we omit the middle note of the syncopation, can find some styles of the of that we call congado. Congado uses ta, tom tom 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 ta. And that is another rhythmic layer of the shaker. That we're gonna find also in frevo. Look how interesting. Frevo has a pandeiro tac 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 tac, playing the same rhythm as the congado of Minas Gerais. So it's very interesting to the more I talk about this, I find more connection between the different styles. And that's why it's important to study the Brazilian music in different places, because you're gonna be you're gonna have a major understanding of how our music works. Very interesting question. In bossa nova, it's a kind of samba, and it's common in the melodic rhythmic layer. We find the syncopations also connected. Sometimes they want to play it in a more lyrical way, doing triplets besides doing the syncopations, and this you're gonna find also in the comping of samba canção. Syncopations also. Oh, and the melody doing more triplet notes. Ba 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 pi ba ba ba. Doing this kind of sound. What else? Do you have some other doubt about this? All right. I'm preparing another kind of videos with more edition and showing the different details, showing the names written and all you need to understand more. All right. I'm preparing. This is a difficult thing to me do alone. That's why I do my lives. I prefer to talk with you, direct with you, and solve your doubts. But I'm thinking in doing this, and when I start this, I won't stop. I need some time to prepare this, but I'm trying to do all right for you all. So that was it. Let me take a little review. And so the syncopation is the style that we're gonna find in a lot of styles, but there are some styles that will be connected by the melodic rhythm with this anticipation of 8 notes, like we say in the some northeast styles with the machixe, and sometimes we're gonna have connection between the bass, like I said, the kind of bass that we find in calango, in the afoxé. It's very common also. We're gonna have the tired notes, tired syncopations in samba style, and I've talked also about the changes, that the transformation of the machixe to become short or become samba after. All right, I hope I have given you a more clear view of Brazilian music. I appreciate your audience. Thanks for coming and watching, and see you every day here to talk more about Brazilian music, how we play Brazilian in a good, with accent, understanding what we are doing. All right, and so that was it. All right. Thanks for watching. every day here talking about Brazilian music. If you want to see some tips, every day I do the quick tips also that are some faster subjects to get to improve your Brazilian language in playing. Alright? Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow one more time. And obrigado. Ciao.